everyone, my name is Joshua. This is the 75th video on my video journal series. Today's date is the 24th of April 2026. It is a Friday today, Friday evening, my favorite. And today I want to discuss with you, the concept of diligence, more specifically diligent work. I firmly believe in being diligent, doing hard work, doing focused work, being, as the youngsters like to call it, locked in with your work. And today, I was studying because I got a bunch of assessments coming up, a lot of work coming towards my way. It's almost like a tsunami of work, but I feel like one way I can get through it is basically diligence, that is being focused, working your hardest, really using your brain power within the time that you got. And I believe that, obviously with diligence and patience and a good work ethic, you can pretty much get through any task, like a essay, a math equation, or just simple chores around the house, And I always believe that quality is better than quantity, You don't want to, strive to write like 1,000 words each day, but rather write like 100 good words each day, if you know what I mean. It depends how much time you got, but why write if you got like 2 weeks? Why not just spread it out, your work, so you do like a certain amount of words per day? So that way, if you break your task into smaller chunks, let's say if you're writing an essay, you set yourself, all right, I have to write 2,000 words within 10 days. That's roughly going to be 200 words per day. So you write 200 words, and you make those 200 words the best 200 words you can. Because let's face it, within an hour, you can most probably write, for most people, a very good 200-word, statement or section of an essay. So you just spend like an hour or two just trying to write within that, boundary, 200 very good words. And then the next day you do the same. You're diligent, you focus upon that little small task, and then that way, if you keep up that momentum, you eventually write 2,000 words. If you do a math equation every day, if you have to do a math equation every single day for a week, just focus on, breaking up into small tasks, even if you have to clean the house, for instance, you're not going to start by cleaning the windows for a bit and then you move straight to vacuuming and all that. You want to do like a section of the house every single day, prioritizing quality over quantity, some people within an hour can most probably write 100 or 200 words. Other people can write maybe like an 1,000-word essay in an hour. And certainly for school, I had to write essays within like an hour for exams and all that. But there's a great disparity between quality and quantity, where you can write, maybe like 200 words or 300 words within an hour, but those words can be very good, if you know what I mean. It could be a very good paragraph. Meanwhile, if you write a 1,000-word essay within an hour, well, it's not going to be as strong as, a properly written essay. I'll rather pick the 300-word option, because I'd rather have 300 very good words than 1,000, bad words. And what do I mean by bad words? It's basically, would I rather have a very good paragraph or just a weak essay, in general? And I'd rather have a good paragraph. Now, obviously, when I hand in work, I don't just hand in one paragraph, but, I strive to focus upon one paragraph when I'm doing an essay. I don't like to jump between paragraph 1, 2, 3, and 4. I like to stay diligent, focus on one thing at a time, and focus on, whenever I'm studying, eliminating my distractions and just focusing upon one task, And I feel like that can greatly incentivize people to study, because I feel like, myself included, there's so many distractions around us. So it's making, diligent work a lot more hard. Diligent work a lot more hard, if you know what I mean. And I feel like one way to, I guess, overcome this is to limit your distractions. I guess back in the day, you didn't really have, I guess, all the technology we have now, like mobile phones. But today we do have technology which can assist us. It can, I guess, impede us in other ways. But um, yeah, if you want to achieve diligent work, eliminate your distractions and focus upon small chunks of work, essentially, and also have a motivation, to do a specific chore or task because I feel like that motivation just keeps you going. You got to find reason, put some passion into it, put some pride. That motivates you to, I guess, achieve your very best and to go further beyond what's simply required of you, as long as it's within the task perimeters. You know what I mean? Um, and yeah, I guess to really, I guess, cap this video off, I believe in diligent work. Diligence is basically focused work, effective work, basically um, really taking care of your studies. That's how I can really put it. But diligence can come in many different ways. You don't necessarily have to write an entire essay in a day, as long as you write one very good paragraph, or maybe even like formulate a very good idea, or even a sentence, in a single day, or just like a single main point. That's always going to prevail over a very weak essay, or, you know, basically, um, how should I put it? Basically, quality over quantity, It's always going to be better than a poorly written essay or a poorly written paragraph, obviously, but yeah, I recommend if you have the time, 2 or 3 weeks to write an essay, really use up your time well. Every, hour that you get, uh, continue working diligently and making small improvements, because I ultimately feel like the place where I fail in essays is often the small details, like referencing. Sometimes I get the referencing a little bit wrong or mixed up, and that just impedes on my marks. Or maybe like spelling errors or just continuity errors. Those are very small mistakes. I feel like if you're working diligently and you really peer review your own, like, sorry, peer review is not the right thing because it insists that you have to get someone else to do it. Now, if you review your own work, sorry, peer review is the scientific term. It's just I've got investigating science on my mind again. But if you review your own work um, for spelling errors and small mistakes, or even if you get like someone else to do it, like a family member, um, that can that can greatly help you. And I feel like one way is to get a family member who knows nothing about, I guess, your subject to read your paper, and to say, you know what, I've learned something. That's how you know you've written something good. It's when someone who has no knowledge on that topic would suddenly get a meaning out of it when they read it, basically. And when you're doing like a task, like a chore, like cleaning the house and all that, get someone to inspect your work. And, if they say it's clean, or, well, I can really notice a transformation, that means you've done a good job. And I feel like that comes out of diligent work, diligence. Um, you know, and it's always better to do quality work, you know? It doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, excuse me, doesn't necessarily have to be like you working 3 hours in a row of a subject. It could be even 30 minutes a day on an assignment, something as little as 30 minutes, as long as you um, get to the end point, that is maybe like the day before the task is due, 24 hours before a task is due. As long as you get to the end point where you submit your assignment on time, it really doesn't matter what steps you take. It just varies in convenience, And I know I said I was going to end this, but I have a little bit more, sorry. Because here's when the assignment's due, here's you, and, you've just started an assignment. And basically, you could either go like this, just slow but steady, and you eventually read it, or you can go and then suddenly on the last day of the assignment, suddenly just go like bang. You know, in my example, you could either go slow, take it easy, and then you reach the mark, or you do nothing for 2 weeks, and then on the final day, you finally hit that mark. And I'm picking the first option, because, like I said, diligent work always, I guess, prevail over, I guess, um, work that is, I guess, done just done because for the sake that it's the 11th hour and I just need to complete this assignment, and you may be locked in within that last hour, but trust me, you're not gonna you know do the best quality work as you would have done if you would have worked on it consistently, or at least would have started a bit earlier on your task. And yeah, I my advice: get started on your homework and your assignments early, but that doesn't mean get off to like a very very quick start. You can just you know utilize your time well, set up plans, diagrams. Sorry, I don't know where I got diagrams from. Diagrams, and just really come up with a solid idea before you proceed. Be diligent. Focus upon how you can spend hours on, I guess, different subjects, changing between them, but within an environment where you can really focus, um, and where there's resources and support around you. And I feel like that's how you achieve diligent work. Um, with, I guess, patience, pride, and I guess um, the ability to, I guess, withdraw from distractions. But anyway, I've said enough. I'd like to hear your opinions about, I guess, diligence and how to achieve, I guess, you a job well done, essentially, just to really be proud of your work and to not only work hard, but prioritize quality over quantity in most cases. But anyway, I've said enough, and I guess I'll catch you on next time. Bye. See you. Take care.